Hi, guys. Glad you guys are here. I think I've got everything set up. So happy Tuesday. Oh, hi, Christy from Indy. Glad you're here. Hi, Becky. Glad you could make it again. Thanks for liking and sharing too. Hi, Marva from a hot and humid Northeast New York. It's hot and humid here too. Oh, I know. She said she's shouldn't complain considering what other people are going through. I know. It's hard to complain when you see what other people are going through. Hi, Marva. Glad you're here, and thanks for liking and sharing. Okay. Oh, that's right. I always said hi to you. I'm here looking down the list and saw your name pop up again. Okay. Well, tonight's going to be a card class at home. I'm doing these every 2 weeks now, and my thank you gifts change every 2 weeks also. So I'll tell you more about how you can get my thank you gifts after the class is over. Right now, there's not a lot going on with Stampin' Up. We've got our new online exclusives, so make sure you check those out if you haven't checked those out already. There is a beautiful embossing folder I'm using here, and I'm not even doing it justice. I'm just using it as a regular embossing folder. Can't wait to make more cards with it. It's called the Sunflower 3D embossing folder, and I'll show you that here in a little bit. That'll be on the last card. Excuse me. And but make sure you check out the other online exclusives. I'm actually using an online exclusive bundle. It's called Impressions Abloom. It actually came out back in May with the new annual catalog, and I have used this bundle so many times. So I used it for my club back in May, and I came up with 4 cards for that. I did it. One other card, I can't remember why I did it. I might have just done it just to have a card to share. I think that it was it, just to show you something from the new online exclusives back in May. I also made a different card for my card swap for the incentive trip that I went to down in Orlando back in May. And now I've made 3 more cards with it for tonight. So for me to be able to come up with that many cards at once, this bundle is a must-have. And I really been having a lot of fun with it. So that, well, I'm going to see if I can come up with 3 more cards for the class tonight, and I did. So I'm excited. I actually made these at the end of, last June when I was at a crop. Let's see. I've just saw some new names. Oh, hi, Carrie. Glad you're here. Carrie's one of my cropping buddies from Indiana. Hi, Dana. Another one that was at that crop. Speaking of the crop. Hi, Anne. Glad you could make it again. Hi, Jan. Glad you're here also. Oh, good, Dana. You got your tractor and company. Good. You're going to have fun with that one. I love that one. I might have to do a card class at home with that too. Oh, hi, Karen Kozleski. I can't talk today. I can tell I'm tongue-tied already. Karen Kozleski. I can usually say that. I'm tired. Hi, Christy. Not that tired for some reason. My tongue's just not working. Oh, yeah. Christy loves that sunflower embossing folder too. I'm really surprised it's still around. It's going to probably sell out pretty quick. It's beautiful. Oh, hi, Janice. First time joining. Glad you're here. Live from Arizona. Glad you're here. Hot, and you're hot there. I'm sure you are. Arizona's always hot. Well, I probably shouldn't say always. I know I've got a friend down there. Every once in a while you get snow. Barely ever, but yeah. Stay cool down there. Hi, Robin. Glad you could come again from Martinsville. Got a few people that were at that crop with me last month. Oh, and hi, Cindy Vines. Glad you're here. One of my club members. Hi, Carmel. Carmel. Glad you're here. I'm glad you could catch me live tonight too. Okay. Oh, and Dana's wanting me to do a card class at home with that tractor and company. I'll have to try that. I'll see if I can do that. I know I will. I'm definitely going to do that. Probably maybe in August, because I'll probably start doing some more fall and things like that in August. So I will do that. I will put that on my list, Dana. I promise. Okay. Oh, good, Karen. I'm glad I say it correctly. I thought I was, but for some reason I couldn't get my tongue to work. My goodness. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start. And some of you have probably noticing some of the comments say hashtag door prize. Let me get that up for you now. We can start talking about that now. Forgot to get that up. There it is. Okay, so if you live in the United States and want to be part of my door prize drawing, then make sure you type in hashtag door prize just like you see it there on the screen. If you're watching here to live, during the live, you have to do it exactly the way you see it, because I've got a program on my this site that I use for my lives. Well, it has a raffle option, but you have to type it in just right because it only pulls in the comments that have hashtag door prize. So do it with no spaces, all one word, all small letters, and do that hashtag right before it. So make sure you don't forget that. And you can see how other people are typing it in too. So it looks like so far everybody's getting it right. So, oh, hi, Lynn. Bonace, glad you're here from Arlington, Virginia. Okay, she comes on just about every week. Hi, Mary Catherine. Glad you're here from Texas. Okay. So, yes. So, if you live in the United States, want to be part of the draw prize drawing, I can't even say door prize. This is going to be a long night, guys. You're going to have to bear with me. I don't know why my tongue's not working tonight. But this, let's see. I don't know if you can. Sometimes it's hard. There we go. That was one of the cards that I made last week, and it's the door prize I'm getting ready to draw for. What I do 2 door prizes. One for those of you that just watched during the live, and then I also do another one that I announce in the next week's live. That's for everybody that watches the live and everybody that watches the replay. I want to make sure my replay people get in on the door prize as well. So this was the one. This is the 3rd card. Actually, this was 2 weeks ago because last week I did a recorded video just because I was doing one for my club. I'm going to try not to do my first card from my card club videos during a live because I really want to do those as recorded ones because I want to have a clear picture. Sometimes, as you know, the lives aren't really clear. So I want to make sure. That's why I did recorded one last week. And I really would rather do them live like I'm doing here tonight. So I will try to do those during my recorded videos from now on. So this is from a couple weeks ago. Tonight, I'll be doing 3 new cards using that Impressions Abloom Bundle I was telling you about. And everybody that's watching live that does the hashtag door prize will get put in the drawing for the first 2 cards I'm making tonight. And then the last card will be the one that I announce at next week's live. So the first 2 cards, the winners will be announced at the end of the live. So you only need to do the hashtag door prize once, and that puts you in the drawing. and I will announce the first 2 winners during the live at the end, and then the replay will be done next week's live. And my lives always are coming on Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. So I'm going to go ahead and come down here. Get that door prize up here so that you guys can see the card better. Cards show up better down here for some reason rather than me holding them up. So that gets you a better idea. This one is kind of like a fold card, fun fold card. It's just got an opening to it. So you actually see the greeting. The greeting's on, so you can see from the outside and the inside. And this is using that Summer Vibes bundle. Let's see. I saw some more people pop up here. Let's see. Oh, Crystal, you're the new one. Hi. I was seeing hashtag door prizes, and I knew I saw somebody else pop up I hadn't seen yet. I'm glad you could come back again. So let's go ahead. I'm going to get this going. So the reason during the replay, if you don't type it in just right, it's no big deal because I'm the one that puts everybody's names in this wheel right here. But like I said, those of you watching live, make sure you type it in just right because I don't want you to miss out on the drawing for the 2 cards at the end of the video. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hit this. Let's see who's going to win. It is Jan. Congratulations, Jan. You're the only one I said hi to. Where did my pencil go? I'm always losing my pencil. So congratulations, Jan. There we go. I hit the wrong thing. There you go. Congratulations, Jan. Let me get your name written down. And I do have your address. Okay, so your name's on there. So congratulations, Jan. I'm not sure if you're on here tonight. I don't think I've seen you yet. But no worries. I will get that mailed out to you if you see the replay. Or you might be coming on later. Who knows? Okay, so that is done. And then, you know what? I'll go ahead and show you guys the cards here tonight. It's not going to look really good. You'll see them better. Like I said, it's always hard with the lighting. There's the first card. So that'll be one of the door prizes here tonight. This will be the second card. I usually don't show you guys the cards from the get-go, but if you saw the thumbnail picture or got my email, you've already seen them anyway. So that is the second one. And those are the 2 that'll be drawn here at the end of the video. And then for the next week, for the live and the replay people, this is the other one. And this is the one that uses that sunflower 3D embossing folder. Okay, so we're done with door prizes. Now it's time to do the class. So I'm going to go back down here. We'll get started. But don't forget to do that hashtag door prize if you live in the United States and want to be part of the door prize drawing. If you don't want to, don't bother with the door prize then. Okay, so I'm going to go and take that down. So we've got a full screen. Try to get things looking a little straighter. There we go. And I want to show you the bundle I'm using first, which I forgot to take out of the package. I usually do this ahead of time, so you don't have to watch me do it. But oops, it was sticking to my paper. I must have some glue on the back of the... There we go. So there is the die set. I love the die set. And I'm actually going to be making the flowers with just the dies. If you just get the bundle, it's $34. And then here's the stamp set, Impressions Abloom. Just the stamp set's $20. But if you purchase the bundle, you save 10% versus buying those 2 things separately. And it's $48.50. But I am using just about all the dies in this one. Let's see. I don't think I'm using these 2 leaf ones or the little flowers or these. But I am using these 2 leaves. So I'm using most of them, not all of them. Definitely both the ovals. You'll see that in the second card. And I'm using all of the stamps except for the So Very Much and this little stem, this line stamp right here. But all the other stamps are being used. So that way, if you're watching the replay or a recording and want to make them with me, then you can get your stamps and stuff out. Okay, now grab card number 1. Get some things situated here. Oh, thanks, guys. I'm glad you guys like those cards. Got a little frog in my throat tonight. Okay. Oh, hi, Cheryl. Glad you could make it. Oh, what am I doing? This is the... Oh, no, this is my... Looked like I had too much stuff. That is for my kit. Because when you earn the card kits, when you place an order with me, you can get the card kits free. I'll tell you more about that here when the class is done. But to tell you exactly how you can get it. But you get 2 of each. I'm just making 1, so I've got enough to make my first card. Okay, this, I might as well get this ready. This is the card base, 5.5 by 8.5, piece of Pool Party. I'm going to line these corners up. That's always my trick on getting it folded in half. Just line those corners. Okay, and the fold will be on the left. This piece here is a 4 by 5.25 inch piece of basic white. Let's see if I can, there we go. If I angle it this way, I think you can see it a little better. It's embossed, and I embossed it with the pressed flowers folder. This is one of our close to 6x6. Oh, I guess it's right at 6x6. But you can tell all the flowers, well, maybe you can't, but they're upside down. So what I did, I just put it in here. I lined it up with the lines and then embossed it. So if you get the card kits, I do all of the embossing and the die cutting for you that's not part of the bundle. So if it's part of the bundle for die cutting, I still give you the cardstock to do it in, but you do it yourself. And you can always substitute with another bundle. You don't have to use yours. Oh, Jan, you're on. Good. I'm glad you like that card. Okay, so that will be coming in the mail soon. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. So do I want to put this on yet? You know what? I really don't. So we'll just put that to the side. I think I want to do, might as well get the stamping done. I'm only stamping one thing. Everything else is going to be die cut. This is a piece of basic white that is 3 1/4 by 1. I need to grab my Stampin' Pierce mat here. So I get that good foundation for these photopolymer stamps. I'm using the I Appreciate You stamp with Misty Moonlight ink. I'm going to put some ink on here. Oh, hi, Lynn Koontz. Glad you're here. And Diana Mann, I just saw your hashtag door prize. Glad you're here. And Lola, hi, Lola from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Glad you're here too. Okay, so I'm going to just stamp this near the middle. It doesn't have to be perfect because I am doing something that I don't do very often, but I do like it, but I've got to do it more often so I can get better at it. It didn't look right just having it be a rectangle piece. So what I'm going to do, what I should have done is cut this ahead of time, but I'm just going to try to get this going quick. I am mainly moving the cardstock to get nice curves. You just have a little more control and your cutting is not real choppy. Now I'm not doing it real fancy. Get to the bottom of the Y and start turning the paper again. And I just stop it when I have to open the scissors up some more. Okay, come around here. Oh, this isn't taking too long. And then I'll go around the T a little bit. Still moving the cardstock more than the scissors. Sometimes I do move the scissors and then it ends up not looking like a very good cut. I'm going to come down here and just go down a little bit below the dot on the I, but then come back up again. And I'll go straight across here till I get to the I. And curve this all the way till I see the I, the end of the I again. I love the I in this. The font is so pretty. I really like this. Kind of go in here just a little bit. And then you can always, when you get all done, if you see some choppy cuts, which I definitely do see, let's see here. That's not too bad. You can go in and clip it a little bit. That's a little too choppy right there. I got a piece hanging off. There we go. You can go and fix it up a little bit, but that looks fine. So I'm happy with that. So I'm going to go ahead and put that there. Throw that away. And that's all the stamping. So I want to get the die cutting machine out. Ugh. Get my card base over here before I mess it up. Okay. Now for die cutting with our Stampin' Cut Emboss machine, you want the base platform, number 1, die plate number 2, and a standard cutting plate number 3. And oh, hi, Celia. I'm glad you could come. You're fine. I'm making the first card. You just missed the intro. You're good. Okay, now I'm going to grab a few pieces here. This is a piece of Misty Moonlight. It's a 4 1/4 by 2 inch piece. That's actually enough for both of the cards. I'm just using the pieces that come in the kit. Now this one, I actually die cut one already because I was going to do 2, but I'm still going to die cut some more from it. It's a 3 by 1.5 inch piece, enough for both cards. This is Pool Party. It is, to find it here on my sheet here, 2 3/4 by 1 1/4 inches. And then last but not least, Fresh Freesia, 4 1/4 by 2. So what I'm going to do, I need to grab my dies. And to do the die cut flowers, you need the outline plus this detail one right here. So this big one right here is the one I'm just laying it down now. I will fix it. And I'm just getting it ready. This small one here goes on the pool party. And this one here goes on the Misty Moonlight. Then I need, this one's a small flower center that goes on the Darling Duckling. And then this is a bigger flower center for Darling Duckling. So now that I got those all out, ooh, this one's actually pretty lined up pretty good. You can kind of see it doesn't have to be perfect, but you can see the Misty Moonlight around the perimeter of the detail one and the outline one. You kind of want that to be pretty even. That lets you know that you've got that detail one in the middle. And sometimes I think it's easier to lay the little one down first and then this one. Now this one has a flat petal right here. That one looks like the flat petal, so I know that's where it goes. And then I just kind of move things around. That looks pretty good. I've got a pretty good pool party border around there between the two dies. And then with this one, there is a petal that sticks out and it's skinnier than the others. And that's that one right there. So that's how you line this one up. So I'm going to get that centered. I want to make sure I still have plenty of room. That's why I kind of moved it over to the left a little bit. Make sure I have enough for my second card. And this is a bigger flower, so I think I'm going to put 2. This one's kind of popping up on me too, so I think I'm going to put a little more on there. And that means I need to get some more tape. Thankfully, I had it some close by. And this is Post-it tape, by the way. This is what it looks like. I get it on Amazon. You can also use the adhesive part of Post-it notes. Works really good too. Now, that's the detail side, so I definitely want that down. Since this is a small one, like I said, I needed 2 of them, and I'm just trying to make it so it didn't take too long. So this is how I die cut this one. You just put actually, I think, like I said, I want to put that little detail one in first, or on first, then put the circle. Sometimes that's the easiest, sometimes it isn't. But when it's close to the middle, this one I'm not as picky on. If it's close to the middle, I think it looks fine. I probably barely ever get it right in the middle. And I'm going to get this big one. Oops, get over here. So many little dies. You want to be careful that you don't lose any. There we go. That's centered pretty good. I'll maybe move it over a little bit. Well, my goodness, it's wanting to move too much. There we go. Good enough. I can tell it's still, well, it's wanting to stick on my finger. That's the problem. Let's do this. I have never had that much trouble with that before. My goodness. There we go. It knows I'm live, so it has to act up. Well, hi, Melissa. Glad you could make it. Now I'm going to put another standard cutting plate on top. You want to make sure they are all covered. They need to be in that sandwich and not hanging over any of the layers. That way you get the right pressure for it to die cut right. Okay. So this one, take this off. And there's what that looks like. I love that detail on there. Then I've got these little flower centers, and I think I am going to keep those taped because I'm going to be, oh, wait a minute. No, I'm not using them again. If you ever want to do multiples of these centers, keep those taped together so you don't have to line it up again. I've learned that. And then you can just put it back down on your cardstock and cut some more. But I'm only going to need to do the one. Isn't that neat? And it's not completely in the center, but I think it looks fine. Okay, I'm going to start putting some of these back on my little magnet so I don't lose them, especially these little centers. I am very paranoid about this little one because the center on it is so low. See, it's stuck on my, see how little that is? It definitely has to be that little to look right. But so far, I've used it so many times, I haven't lost it yet. So there we've got that, and I've got a second one already. I did that earlier. So you can tell there's plenty for the second cards. And then we've got, this is the Fresh Freesia one. Pop these over here. There we've got that one. And last but not least, we need to get that little pool party one. And it's right there. Okay, so this tape over here, because I'll need that again later. All right, now, see, is there anything else I need to, nope, there's nothing else I need to die cut. If you get the kits, this is a piece of garden green that's 6 by 3 3/4. And I did both of the stem dies, these two right here. That's what these two right here are. And then I just used these leaves here and did a set of 2 of these 2 leaves. Now, if you wanted to, you could even just do all 4 leaves, and that looks just fine. These leaves, you have to do like you do with the flowers. But if you just want to run it through once, you can definitely use all 4 leaves. But I went ahead and did this one twice. These 2 twice, I mean. And that is how I did it out of here. Same sandwich as I did with the flowers. And then you've got plenty for the second card. Okay, I need to get some of these. I'm trying to get things situated. Oh, I am done. That's right. I'm done die cutting. So get this out of the way. That's going to give me more room. And now I can start putting this together. I'm going to grab my silicone mat. So I can start putting these flowers together. Might as well grab all those flower centers too. Now you can put these on with glue dots for sure. But sometimes when they're, well, especially these can definitely be done with glue dots. I'm just going to go ahead and use my seal. And put this one in the center of this one. Oh, let's get a little bit down. There we go. Some of the adhesive was coming over the side. You know what? I think I'm just going to use this because this, you could use 2 glue dots on this one. This flower center is just a little bit bigger, and I like using the seal a little better. But then for those these little ones, I didn't like getting that seal on the outside. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my glue dots. Oh yeah, the glue dots almost, yeah, that's perfect for this one. There we go. Okay, so I've got those ready. I need to grab, let's see, I'm going to grab the embossed piece I showed you a minute ago. This is that 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece that was done with that pressed flowers embossing folder. There we go. It's so hard to show you the white one when it's on white. And grab my stems. The stems I'm going to put on with glue. So I'm going to turn them over so they're ready for me to put glue on. And then I need to grab all 4 of the leaves. Okay. And they are the mirror images of each other. So pair up the ones. So you can tell like these 2 both are going in and these 2 are both going in. So I know I've got them paired right. And I'm going to grab this one, put a little bit of multi-purpose glue. Definitely put some here on these little dots. They're the biggest section. I'm just kind of tapping it a little bit here. Okay. Maybe a little bit on the top of these stems. I'm not going to bother putting on that real long stem, but I do want to put some here on the bottom and up on those 2 top. That also gives me something to hold on to when I go to put this on. Now, when I first made this, I placed everything down to figure out where I wanted it. Since I've already done the work, I can put this down. And it's about right here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to hold it down, not pushing it on the glue part, making sure this flower is going to fit. And I kind of liked it this way. You know what? That's actually pretty good. If it goes over a little bit on my white, that is okay. I just don't want to go past my, no, that's perfect. I don't want to go past my pool party card base. So that just is barely going over. So I know it's going to work just fine. Then I will do the same thing with this. I'm going to put a little bit of glue here. And the main reason I'm not putting any in the middle, like I said, is so you have something to hold on to. Plus, I'm going to be tucking those leaves under there just a little bit, not much, because they're so thin. So that'll help it so I don't have any glue in the way. And then this one, I think it's about right there. Let me put this little pool party, see how that looks. That looks fine. So that is where I want it. Okay. So I think it's easier to get those stems on first. Now I'm going to put this on with seal. I might as well do it with the glue since I've got the glue out. But you can definitely use our Stampin' Seal. I've got it over here, but since the glue is even closer, I'm going to do that. And this one will go, let's see, maybe about right there. Hold that down. Actually, I put it on a little different from my first one, but that's okay. And these two, I'm going to put on with dimensionals. So I'm going to grab my dimensionals. Hi, Patty. Oh, you're fine. This is just the first card. You're good. I'm going to put one dimensional on the pool party one. That should be plenty. This one, I'm going to put one here and one here, and that should be good. I could put like a half one down there, but I think I'm going to be okay. I'm going to get my take your pick tool out. Always like to scoop my paper backings off with it. That way I can just pull them all off of here and throw them away. Oh, I still didn't get that one. I didn't think I did. It didn't look shiny. When I know they're shiny, then I know I've got the paper backing off. Okay, this one, this wider area right here is what I put on the stem. So I am just going to lay this down because I might move it. Let me see. This one, I want it down a little farther. That looks pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and push those down. If you just tap them down, you can pick them back up again. Oh, hi, Joan. Glad you could make it from Washington State. There we go. Now, I'm not going to put the leaves on just yet because I'm going to put some DSP. And that's Designer Series paper. I'll always call it DSP for short. I'm going to put some adhesive on here. This one is a 4 by 1.5, I do believe. Yes. I love the colors in this paper. It is from the Floral Impressions DSP. I'm actually using the DSP, the embellishments I'm using, and the bundle all come from the Floral Impressions suite that's in the in the online exclusives. So I'm going to put this one about right here. Okay, right across. I'm just tapping it in case I want to move it again. I'm going to grab, you know what? I did get too many pieces. I don't need this one. We'll take that one away. So this one is actually the other side of this same sheet. This one is a 4 by 1/2 inch. So I'm going to put some adhesive here because I thought we needed a little border down here. And sometimes I like to show both of the both sides of the paper. There, so I'm going to put that right along the bottom. I'm going to turn this over. I can tell there's a little bit of paper hanging over because I could tell that this one was a little shorter than this one. So I had a feeling it was hanging over. So I'm just putting my scissors right up against the cardstock so I can cut that off nice and straight. There we go. Oh, hi, Gladys. Oh, you're good. No problem. Okay, so that is ready. Now that I've got the DSP on, I know where I can put the leaves. So I'm going to, this time I am going to use glue because of all the little cuts in this. Sometimes when I use the seal, it starts to fall apart. So I'm just going to put a little glue here, mainly on the bottom, so I've got something to hold on to here on the tip. I'm going to put one right here. Okay. And I'm going to use this one. This is the opposite side, the one, because I made sure I paired them up right so the mirror imaged ones are next to each other. And then this one, actually, I'm going to wait on that one. Let's grab this one. And I'm going to put it's going to go under the pool party one a little bit. If I can get it through, this blue one is getting in the way. There we go. My goodness, it wants to go underneath that blue flower really bad. There we go. There. So now I can put that blue flower. So I've got a little leaf kind of sticking out there. And this one is kind of going to go over it just a little bit, but that's okay. And I'm going to put it on this side of the stem. And then last but not least is this one. And this one will go right here. So not having any glue on that very tip made it to where I can get this on here. Well, there we go. Okay, and you want to put pressure on it when you use multi-purpose glue. I agree, Patty. She says you can never have too many flowers. I totally agree. Most of my sets are probably floral ones. Okay, so that looks pretty good to me. I'm going to go ahead and put this on the card base because now that I've got the DSP on there, when I put DSP all the way across, I like to wait to put it on the card base. So that way, like I had this one too long, I can turn it around and cut it off. Can't do that once it's put on the card base, or at least it makes it harder. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn this over, get my seal on there, like so. And this will just go right in there. Make sure that fold is on the left. That's a public service announcement, so you don't put on upside down like I do all the time. There we go. And then I'm going to grab, let's see, what do I want to do next? Oh, I'm going to take this. Here's the the sentiment that I cut out earlier. And you can put it on with dimensionals if you make this card later, but I decided to just keep it flat. And I'm going to put it where these two pieces of DSP meet. There we go. Then the inside, since I've got it here, this is a 4 by 5¼ inch piece of basic white. And this DSP piece is 4 inches by 3/4 inch. I do believe. Yep, I want to make sure I picked up the right one because I had an extra one. And I'm going to put it here along the bottom of this piece. Oh, I definitely made that one too long. Wow. And I left a little bit of white here at the bottom. You could put it all the way to the bottom if you want to, but a lot of times I like to have a little border on the bottom too of the white. I've got a lot to cut off there. I wonder if that's when I wasn't meaning to put in my kit and I put it in there by accident. I bet that's what happened. Okay, so that is ready. Might as well put this on the inside of the card. You can see you have plenty of room. It's still decorated so it matches the card on the outside. Got some little pieces on there. But it still gives you plenty of room to write something inside. There we go. So there's the inside. There's the outside. We're almost done. I need to grab the bling. And I'm using, I forgot to take these out too. These are called they're strawberry slush and pretty in pink gems. So these are the strawberry slush ones. They're the large and the small. These are the pretty in pink. They're coming large and small. And then clear. And these clear, you can make any color you want to with Stampin' Blends. And what I'm going to do with the card kits, you will get a full row of the clear, a full row of the pretty in pink, and a full row of the strawberry slush. That way you've got enough for your cards, plus you'll have a few extra. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to be doing the pretty in pink ones. I'm going to do 1 large and 2 small. So I'm going to use the putty side of my, take your pick tool, grab a large one, and I'm going to put it right here. I think I need to get a little more putty out though. Then I need a small one. And I'm going to put that one about right here. And another small one. And I'm going to put it about right there. Okay, so that is card number 1. Looks a little different from my original. My original, I had this one up a little higher. I wonder if I could still do that. Sometimes I can, well, it's starting to fall apart. Never mind. I should have tried. There's Karen Braxton. If you, I haven't heard from her, she's got a YouTube channel too. I actually watched one of her lives today. I met her on the incentive trip, and she said her mom did this all the time, and it works. And you just huff on it to get it to warm it up, and it actually pulls off a lot easier. But I already started to tear it, so I'm not going to worry about it. I should have remembered that technique. I just learned that today. I've heard about using dental floss and things like that. But usually the first 10 minutes you can lift this back up again. And it has been less than 10 minutes, but with all the details in this, it's really easy for that to start tearing. And you can tell it's starting to just a little bit. Well, wait. Oh, yeah, I'm going to stop. So I'll bring, here's the original. I think it looks fine. That one's just up a little bit higher, but I think it still looks good the way I've got it there. So that is the first card. Oh, thanks, Robin. Thanks, Lynn. Glad you guys liked it. Okay, so I'm going to put this to the side. Now it's time for card number 2. This one is going to has a lot of white, but then it's got some strawberry slush to add a little color to it. So whenever I use thick basic white, oh, let me get all these little pieces back too. Let me get things out of the way so I can keep making cards. There we go. This is a piece of thick basic white. It is 5.5 by 8.5. Oh, thanks, Karen and Jeanne. I'm glad you liked it. But when I use the thick basic white, I always score it before I fold it because it is thicker. And if you fold it without scoring, the folds usually gets a little crumply. It's just not very good. It actually kind of puts wrinkles in it. So what I'm going to do with our trimmer, the dark blade, this is the cutting blade. The light one is the scoring blade. So I need to line this up with an 8.5 inch side along the top, score it at 4 1/4 inches, and go over it a few times using a little pressure so you get a nice score line. And then I'm going to turn this over. When you score, the valley is actually the outside of the fold, and the mountain side is the inside of the fold. So I've got it that way, making sure those corners are still lined up. There we go. So that is ready to go. I've got another piece. Now this time the fold is going to be along the top. This is another piece of basic white. It's this is regular basic white though, by the way. It's a 5 1/4 by 4. And you know what? I'm going to take, let's see, there we go. I'm going to use Strawberry Slush. I think I'm going to grab this piece here. Where did my blending brush go? There it went. I'm going to use a blending brush, and I'm going to lightly add some color to the flowers on here. That way you can see them a little better. You know how I was saying you can't see in person? You can definitely see. It's a little hard to see here in the video, all the embossing. I wanted to see it even better. So I'm going to color this. I'm using a very light touch. First, I'll put a little bit out here and then lightly go over the embossing. So I'm using a super light touch. Then when I don't see any ink, just add a little more, pounce a little bit off, and then lightly go over here. And now you can see how that pops. I'll bring it up closer to the camera here in a second. There we go. I actually use this technique. Oh, thanks, Karen. I just saw you said you liked that last card. Thanks. But there we go. I use this technique on one of my club cards. So there we go. So that put a little color to the embossing. Now I'm going to grab this piece. This is another piece from that Floral Impressions DSP. This one is a 1 1/2 by 4. I love the colors in that one too. Isn't it? Just gorgeous. I'm going to go ahead and put this on here. Grab my seal. Like so. And this one is going to go right along the left side, but I'm going to leave a little bit of the white showing on the left side. So it's not going to go all the way over to the side. Well, I'm trying to line up the bottom. A lot of times I will line up one of the short ends with the cardstock edge. Then if it is too long, I only have one side to cut. But it looks like it's about perfect. Yep, that looks fine. And I can go ahead and put this on the card base. I'm not putting any ribbon around it or anything. Bring in the card base, making sure that fold is on the top. This will go right in the middle here. Okay. Now, I went ahead and die cut these ahead of time. These will not be die cut in the card kits. So you will get the piece of white I did this with. This was a 3 1/2 by 4 1/2. And I die cut this piece out with the plain oval that's in the Impressions Abloom Bundle. So you'll just see the one blade going around it, and that lets you know it's the one that does just the oval. Okay. Then the other one, it's got 2 blades, one on the inside, one on the outside, and then it's also got all these little dots to put it like a little dotted frame around it. That is the one that die cut this. So this is another piece of Strawberry Slush. This is Strawberry Slush, but it's also 3 1/2 by 4 1/2 inches. It's the same size as that white piece. And I die cut it with this one, and it comes out with the frame and the oval that was inside. So I'm going to go ahead and put this to the side. I'm not using it. I can use that on another card. But it's the same sandwich that I used to do those flowers, the same cutting plate sandwich. So that is, I went ahead and did that ahead of time, though, just to make things not go too long for the video. Now I'm going to grab this. And I'm going to grab the big flower. I'm going to get in the set. It's a 2-step stamp set. So we've got one that's just a flat, just a solid flower, and one that's got detail to it. Now, I don't know if you noticed, remember with the die, I told you with the big flower, there is one petal that sticks out more and it's thinner. I'm making sure those are on the same side. I always start with the dark stamp first. So here's my Strawberry Slush. Bring this down a little bit so we can get everything up here. I'm going to ink this up. And I want to make sure I remember where this long petal is. And I think I'm going to go ahead and do it this way. So it's actually going to be going down here. It's going to be off my cardstock just a little bit. I just remember it's on the left. So hold that down for a few seconds. Then I'm going to grab this one. I'm going to stamp off. Get my ink pad out of the way. There we go. And then there's my long one. I know this was my long one right here. Now those are all lined up, and get my fingers out of the way so you can see. Hold that down for a few seconds. There we go. Oh, Celia said she didn't think she'd like the oval dies, but she loves them. I do too. But there you go. So that gives the two-tone effect, stamping off and then to make it a little lighter. So I'm done with the big flower for right now. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and, well, nope, we'll just do it this way. Then I'm going to leave that open because I'm going to be using it here in just a minute. I'm going to grab my fresh freesia and these two flowers here, and I made it so that this big gap here and the big gap on here are on the same side of the block. That just helps me with lining it up later. Here's the detail one, so that's the one that needs to be darker. Stamp this, and I think we have the wider, the gap kind of face down here. I am overlapping with the other flower, which is exactly what I want to do. You know what? I'm going to wait a minute. Get this one, stamp off, making sure because I can remember right where that big gap was so I can line it up. If I did both of them, I may not remember where I put one of them. There we go. Now I'll do this one again, and it's going to go down here like so. And my big gap is over here. So stamp this, stamp off. There's my big gap right here. So I can line that up. There we go. So that's ready. And then the last flower is the small one, and I'm going to use Pretty in Pink. And my trick for lining this one up is that flat one. So I've got the flat petal here. You can see how these all have little humps in them. This has got like 3 little bitty humps, but it's more flat. So that is that one. And then this one, it is this one right here is the big flat one, I do believe. That I have a little harder time seeing it with this one, but yeah, it's definitely the one that looks a little longer than the others. So I'm going to stamp this, and I'm going to put it right here. So the one I'm lining up is up here. Do this one, stamp off. There's the flat one, so it goes up here. And it is lining up, so I definitely did it right. There we go. And one thing with this one I've learned, if you did get it off, it still looks just fine, even though if it's not lined up. These, it looks better, making sure you get them done right. But this one is not, it's more forgiving than the others. Now, let's go ahead and do leaves. I'm still going to leave these out because I'm actually going to kind of do this on the inside of the card too. I'm going to take Garden Green, and it's a 2-step also. Now, because I was running out of blocks, I put the solid one here and the detailed one over here. They're on opposite sides. That way I don't have to worry about inking this one up by accident, but I can still see this one since it's over here. I'm going to do one. So I'm doing the more detailed one first. Let's put couple little places here. Now the one trick with this, I'm getting some ink right here on the spot that doesn't have a stamp. So be really careful when you go to stamp this that you don't tilt it. There we go. That looks pretty good. Now I'm going to do the other side. Stamp off. And this will color in the rest of that, so you've got that 2-tone effect. So that's what it looks like. Look at this one here. And this is what it looks like when you don't stamp. It's got a little more white to it. So if you like the white look, then you don't have to do this last one, because I think it looks good both ways. I decided to stamp them all so they'd be a little greener. But don't forget to stamp off, because if you don't stamp off, then you're going to make it to where you can't see all that detail from that first stamp. There we go. Now, last but not least for this piece, oops, need to clean that off. Oh, thankfully I remember to get this wet. All right, now I want to do the flower centers. And if you look at these, you can tell it's got some, let's see, pecan pie and crushed curry are two of the colors in the paper. And you can tell the detail looks kind of brown and the rest of it's yellow. I'm going to do that with this. So the detailed one is the pecan pie. So the large one does the large flower. So I'm going to grab pecan pie. I did the same thing as I did with the leaves since I wanted to conserve my blocks. This is the detailed one. There we go. I didn't get it very center, but that's okay. I could even come back over. There we go. That actually looks good. I did it without stamping on it again. But I want to take my crushed curry. Here is the solid one. Let me ink it up and color this in. So now it looks more like the flower center that's in the paper. So I'm going to do the same thing with the small one. So here is the small one. There's the detailed stamp. I'm going to do pecan pie. So I will just do the center of all of these. My goodness, I need to get over this a little better. There we go. It's one thing when you're, like I've said before, when I do have a camera up here, sometimes I don't get right over it and can't see where I'm stamping. Okay, now I'm going to do the solid one with my crushed curry. There we go. And this one. Okay, so those are all done. Now I still need my pecan pie. And I need to, where'd it go? There we go. I'm going to do thanks for being there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab the thanks first. And I want to make sure that this oval is straight. So I'm kind of looking at my grid paper here. And that way I know I'm getting this on straight. So there's the thanks. And then I'm going to do the for being there. And that's going to go right underneath the thanks. There we go. Now let's go ahead and get the inside done. Now I did not put any white cardstock in here since the card base is already white. And I could have stamped this at a time too. I wasn't thinking, but you can watch me do these flowers again. So once again, find that petal that's real long. And I'm just redoing, so I know that's my long one. I'm redoing what I did on that oval. Stamp off. There's my thin, narrow one. There we go. I am done with Strawberry Slush. Oh, thanks, Celia. I'm glad you liked how I did the centers. Oh, hi, Deidre. Glad you could make it. Yep, Eastern time. That's always hard when you don't live in the same time zone. Okay, now I'm going to grab my fresh freesia. And this was the flower I used on the fresh freesia. There's the gap that's bigger. Oops, wait a minute. I want the detailed one. So there's the one with a bigger gap. I kind of like the gap facing down on this one. Then I will do this one. Stamp off. There's the side with the gap. So I know it's going to line up this way. I think. Wait a minute. Yes, it just looked funny there for a second. There we go. I'm going to do one more. And let's do it this way. And my big gap is down here on the bottom right. Grab this one. And there we go. Then we've got the pink one. That's the small here. Let me close these up so I can get more room. Here's my pretty in pink with the small flower. Ooh, there we go. Now I'm going to grab the detailed one again. There is the wider petal there. It's like right here at the top. Stamp off. There is the white petal on this one, so I know it's going to line up there. There. Pretty in pink is done. Well, I'm making a mess over here. Okay. Now, what else do I need to do? Oh, yeah, the leaves. So I'm going to grab garden green. And I'm just going to put a few leaves on here. Here's the detailed one. I won't put quite as many. It just depends on what feels right. I can't remember if I put one on the pink one. You know what? I don't think I did. I didn't because I kind of wanted to have a little more room for some words. So I don't think I'm going to. You definitely can if you want to. But now I'm going to do the solid one. So stamp off. That one up. Stamp off. Kind of get a rhythm going so you remember to stamp off. And one there. And one there. Then I just have the flower centers. Oh, wait a minute. I still need that pecan pie. What am I thinking? Garden green's what I'm done with. So, since I've got the pecan pie out, I'm just going to go ahead and do all the pecan pie. So here is the large one. Make sure I'm still on the screen. Yeah. I knew I moved it. I was afraid I moved it out too far. I can still move it up a little bit more. There's the detailed little one with pecan pie. I'm going to move that ink pad because I'm afraid I'm going to get the top of that card in the ink pad. I think I might have a little bit. There we go. Done with that. I always like to close them up when I know I'm done with them. That keeps them from drying out, but it also makes it so I don't put my stamp in the wrong ink pad. Now here's the solid little one with the crushed curry. There we go. And sometimes too, like my pecan pie one, I had it up a little too high, so I brought the crushed curry down a little bit. Then it colors it all in. It still looks fine if you have a little white too. And there's the large solid stamp. Okay, now almost done with this card. I need to grab and put this over to the side. That actually looks pretty just like that. I'm going to grab my oval. Before I glue the frame on, I'm going to take the blending brush that I just had. Where's my strawberry slush? Oh, there it is. I'm like, I know it was here. I just used it. I'm just going to take a little bit of ink, pounce off, and then just do a little light border around here. I just kind of liked having a little bit of ink. So I'm starting off this oval on my grid paper, scrap paper. So that way, if I come down too hard, I'll get my blotches. You can tell I've got a dark blotch here. That way it goes on my grid paper rather than my oval. I don't care what my grid paper looks like. Just go all the way around. I'm even going over the flowers a little bit. It just kind of gives a nice little, almost like a halo, little strawberry slush halo around the oval. Okay, so you want it to look like that. And now I'm done with ink for this card. That to the side. Now I need to grab my silicone craft sheet again. And what I think is the easiest way, because this is a little bit, this oval is actually larger than the strawberry slush one. So you can see how you can see some of the white border around there than this one. So this is actually going to get glued onto the edges of that oval. I'm going to turn this over to the wrong side. And there's my glue. And with this, I barely squeeze it, and I can feel the dots that the die made. Now that I'm standing up, it's not working as well. I'm just going to go all the way around this frame. If you miss a couple spots with the glue, that is okay. It doesn't take much. And if you ever squeeze too hard and get a glob of too much glue on here, like a big glob, all you need to do is turn this over and tap off some of the glue on the silicone mat. And then once the glue dries on the silicone mat, it just peels right off. But that looks pretty good. I'll put this down. You have to put it down nice and easy because it will, if you stretch it any, it's not going to be the same oval shape that you want. So I'm just kind of tapping it around here. That looks good. So now I'm going to push it down with pressure. That way I know it's going to be stuck on there. If you don't put the pressure on, it's going to come up again. And you don't want that. There we go. I almost didn't put the frame on, but it just really needed it. Even though I sponged around the edges, it still needed that frame. It looks a lot better. Now I'm going to turn this over. I'm going to put on some dimensionals. And just to be on the safe side, a couple places, I'm actually going to put the dimensional so it's on the white and the frame. Because I can tell the frame is a little too high up here, and I don't think it's attached very well right there. There we go. Can't tell from the front, so nobody's going to know. I'm just kind of putting a couple places here, making sure I don't go past that oval though, because you do not want that one. I got really close, but I still can't see the dimension on the other side. You don't want to see it from the front. And then I think I'll put one here. This one, it's closer to the frame, so I really don't need to worry about that. I know it's glued on good. And I think I'm gonna put one there in the center. I will take the paper backings off, scooping them up. So I always put this in at an angle, that way I can scoop them up better. Grab my card base. You know what? I need to push that down a little more. I just need to put more adhesive on there because it's coming up a little. Then this will just go right here in the middle, like so. That looks pretty good. It might be over a little bit to the right, which I'm fine with because I kind of want to see more of that DSP. There we go. And then I want to grab those gems. I used the Pretty in Pink last time. Now I'm going to use the Strawberry Slush. And I'm going to use one large and two small again. So here's a Strawberry Slush one. That's the darker pink. I'm going to put one right here. And grab a little one. Put it right here. And grab another little one. And put it right there. And you can definitely put more on if you want to. But that's the second card. So I hope you liked that one. I had fun making the inside too. You don't have to do that many. You could just do one flower if you don't want to stamp all those. But I loved how this came out, so I thought I'm going to do it to the inside too. Okay, so that is card number 2. The next one, totally different color combo. This one's got a lot of yellows in it. So if you like yellow, you're going to like this card. I do need to clean off some stamps. The flower stamps are all going to be done with a different color. I'm going to grab my chamois here. Get those cleaned up. Make sure I get all of them cleaned up. So I should have done this one. I've got 2 more stamps. There we go. I'm kind of counting in my head so I don't get them. Oh, thanks, Lynn. I'm glad you like the color combos. Thanks, Joan. I'm glad you liked it. And Ruth. Oh, hi, Ruth. I don't think I've said hi to you yet. Hi, Deidre. Thank you. I'm glad you like that card too. Okay, I've got all the flowers, and I'm going to go ahead and clean off. I really don't have to clean off the pecan pie side because this time I'm just going to make the flower centers pecan pie. I'm going to go ahead and clean just to make sure. I'm not going to worry about the leaves. I think I do stamp. Yeah, I do use the leaf stamp on the inside of the card, but that's still going to be garden green. Okay. Now I'm using crushed curry. This DSP also has the Darling Duckling, and that was the color I used on the flower centers here. This will let you know the difference if you haven't seen a Darling Duckling yet. You can see the difference in the yellows there. The flower centers are Darling Duckling, and this is crushed curry, and it's a lot darker. So this is the card base, 5.5 by 8.5. Oh, hi, Candy. I just saw your name pop up. I'm glad you were here. Oh, thanks, Celia and Robin. I'm glad you guys liked that card, the second card. Thanks, Karen. So 5.5 by 8.5. Get those corners lined up again. I get to where I automatically say that. Okay, so now the card base is ready. I want the fold on the left. I need to look at something here. There we go. My computer was doing something weird. I couldn't see my screen anymore. So there's the card base. This was die cut, and it will be die cut in this kit because this is another die set that's not part of the bundle. So this one is done with the textured notes dies, which I use a lot, and they are $31. And I'm using what I call the number 4 die. The smallest one is number 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So here's the 4th one. So that's the one I used to get this one, and it was die cut out of a 2.5 by 4 inch piece of basic white. So that will be done in the card kit. And another thing that was done in the card kit is this. Now, this is that gorgeous sunflower, and there's so many different techniques, and I promise I will show you some soon. I love this. It's one of the great big ones. So this will show you. I can actually do 2 out of each one. So this one actually came out of this end. So if you get the card kits, both of yours are going to look a little different because when I can get 2 done at once, I'm going to do it. Those are my shortcuts. So I love these big ones. So I can do 2 4 by 5.25 inch pieces in here. And that's the 4 by 5.25. That's my pecan pie. And you know what? Let's go ahead, get some of this together. This is going to go across the middle. This is another piece, 4x2. I love all the different floral designs in this. And like I said, this one doesn't have any of the pinks or the purples like the other two cards did. This has got more the yellows, the peach pie color. And garden green. It's really neat. So there's so many different things you can do with this suite. I'm actually using everything in the suite except actually like the pressed flowers embossing folder I showed you at the beginning of the video. That's what I used on the first two cards. That is in this Floral Impressions suite. The bundle, the embellishments I'm using today, the DSP I'm using today, and also there's an ephemera pack in there. It's got a bunch of labels. They've got gold around them and some frames in it. And I'm not using that on these cards, just I knew I wouldn't have enough to give in the card kits. But that's just another little added bonus in the suite. They've got some sizes for just the sentiments and some for to do like the oval. Instead of using the oval, you could use one of the big ephemera labels in the pack. And they all have little gold frames on them. So gold foil frames, that is. So I'm going to make sure this is close to the center. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just right across the middle. Nothing, let's hang over just a little bit, but not enough to worry about. So now I'm going to go ahead and put this on my card base. Oh, Patty says she loves that sunflower. So does Robin. I do too. This is, I think, the first card I've used it, which is terrible because I love it. That was my first pre-order back when demonstrators can always pre-order new, well, not always, most of the time, like 99% of the time, we get to pre-order product a month before customers can go buy it. So this was on my first pre-order. Oh, thanks, Janice. I'm glad you're loving all the cards. She's a great class. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Okay, so there is that. So I'm going to put that up here. Now, I'm going to do some stamping. So I need to grab the silicone mat again. Because whenever you have photopolymer, which is what these stamps are, you definitely want to have some cushioning underneath your cardstock, because that gives you the nice foam that you need to get a good stamped image. I use it on our cling stamps too, the rubber ones. Even though the rubber still has the padding under the stamp, on the actual stamp, I still use this because I think it just makes the stamped image look so much better. Now I'm going to grab this long piece of basic white. This is an 8.5 by 3, enough for both cards, but I'm just doing one. I'm going to grab the large flower. All the flowers are going to be done with crushed curry, so don't have to worry about changing colors. I'm going to move some of this stuff out of the way, though. Get that card base over there, because I tend to get things in the ink pads when my table gets this messed up. Yes, Melissa, I agree. Melissa says the yellow is especially cheerful. It definitely is. Oh, and Deidre said she just got that folder today. I'm guessing you're meaning the sunflower. So we'll both have to start playing with that. I have not used it yet. So there is my petal, this long skinny one. I'm going to stamp it over here on the left. These are going to be die cut. But I just want to remember where I did that. Now I need to find my big, where did it go? I know there we go. Do the crushed curry again. That stamp off to make it lighter. Line that up. Okay. Then I need one of the medium-sized one. Here's the one with the gap. It's going to be on the right side. Stamp this one. Crushed curry, stamp off. There's the big gap on the right. So that should make it all line up. It's just so much easier to go with dark and then the light, because when this is light, you can see through it a lot better and see the dark on the cardstock. Oh, hi, Carmen. Glad you could make it. Now I'm going to grab the two small ones. There is the big flat one. I have it on the top right. I'm going to put it up here because I want to make sure I have plenty of cardstock for my second card. This, stamp off. There is the flat, wide petal on the top left. Can't remember if I said that right the first time. Get these to line up. There, that looks pretty good. There. This one I have the harder time. I'm going to try one more time. I have a harder time getting this little one lined up. try that again. I think that's my flat. Oh, I didn't. Did I stamp off? Better do that again just to make sure. Okay, let's see if that one's better. Little better. I need to bring it down a little farther, but it's still going to be just fine when I die cut it. Won't be able to tell. Okay, now close this up. And this time, like I said, I'm just going to use pecan pie. I'm not going to do the double color. Since this is already crushed curry, I didn't want any yellow in the center. You can definitely still do that if you want to. But here's the big one. Grab my pecan pie. Oh, Ruth says yellow's her favorite color. It's my son's favorite color, too. He loves yellow. Okay, I'm going to put this right there. Do the solid one. But this time I need to stamp off since it's the same color. There we go. And then the small one does the rest of the flowers. So I'm going to do the detailed one on all of them. I'm going to forget that little one here. That's the better one. So I only need one of the little one. And then here is the solid one. Stamp off. And stamp off. And then we need to grab, might as well get those flowers done. I'm going to grab the inside of the card. This is a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece. I'm going to just do the big flower this time. And I keep putting that one down. There we go. So here's the detailed part. I know oh, wait a minute. I don't want pecan pie. My goodness, I'm glad I caught myself. I could have turned the cardstock over, but I'm going to have to clean this chamois up. It's getting a little inky. All right. Now, this time I want the crushed curry. There's my long. I know it's on the top right, top left, I mean. My goodness. As my husband says, my other right. Okay, then ink this up. Stamp off. And I can also kind of tell, even though this is cut off right here, I can tell that's the narrow petal also, because the rest of them are a little fatter. There we go. These flowers, that's all the flowers I need to stamp, so we can put the crushed curry away. Do the flower center with the pecan pie. Really, it doesn't matter. I was going to say do the detail one first. You just know it's going to go in the center. You just want to make sure you stamp off the solid one. There we go. I thought I needed to put some leaves on this. I'm going to grab garden green. And I'm going to do the detailed one. Put a little bit right there. And maybe one right next to it. There we go. And one right there. I think that, well, you know what? Let's see, do I want another? Nope, I think that is all I'm going to do. So now I'm going to do the solid one. Stamp off. Stamp off again. And stamp off again to finish this one up. There we go. So that is the inside. I just decided to put one flower on that one. Might as well put this on the inside of the card. My table is really messy right now, and I know I'll lose this puppy. Okay, so here's the inside. Oh, thanks, Gladys. There is a lot of stamping with this one. That's for sure. It's a good thing I like to stamp. Okay, so there is that. There's the inside. Did get something on that, though. Oh, I think it's just water. It'll come off. Okay, now time. Oh, no, I took that back there. It's just one more thing I need to stamp. So I need to find this again. I want to grab that rectangle I showed you a minute ago and grab the thanks stamp. There it is. And I'm going to stamp it here in the bottom right corner. There we go. Now all the stamping is done. And you know what? I might as well put this on the card too. So I'm going to turn this over. Let's see. Patty's asking, is the sunflower embossing folder? It is an online exclusive. It sure is. So it's not in a catalog, but you can find it in the online exclusives. You can also just go to my online store, and in the search engine at the top, you can just type in sunflower and it should pop up. Okay, so this is going to go on the left side. I'm centering it up and down, but it's on the left side. So I'm just having a little bit of a border over here. That looks good. Now I've got some die cutting to do. Grab the die cutting machine, make some room for it here. Okay. Got the same sandwich as I did before. I need to grab the flowers here that I stamped. And I need this die. There is the long petal sticking out, so I know it goes over here. My goodness, I've got a lot of ink on my fingers. I seem to do that when I make cards in a video. Well, even when I'm doing them outside the video. There we go. So put some tape on here. Oop, I got 2 pieces, so that one will go over here. Then I'm going to grab this one. There's the flat, and there's the flat there. Even though I didn't stamp it perfectly, I can tell all the color is in there really good, so I'm happy with that. Put some tape on that one, and then last but not least is this one. Let's see, I think that's the bigger gap right there. Oh, I've got that tape in the way. You know, I'm going to move that. I don't care if I cover up that one because I'm not cutting that one. But there's my big gap, and there's the big gap, and that should line up. And it does. I've got that ready. Put a couple pieces of tape on this one too because it's big. Grab my other standard cutting plate, put it on top. Run this through. Oh, thanks, Jan. I'm glad you're liking the flowers. Okay. So there is this one. So even though I didn't stamp it perfectly, it looks perfect now that it's die cut. I love it when that happens. Okay. And we've got this one. And then this one. And I'm not die cutting that one because that was a boo-boo. And you can tell I gave plenty of cardstock to do 3 more flowers on there. And then with this one, this is a piece of garden green that's 8.5 by 5.5. Or no, 8.5 by 3.5. Sorry, I'm used to saying that size. And what I did, I took this die and both of the stem dies. And you can tell I did the 2 stems here and then 2 of this leaf one right here. And that gave me these 2 leaves and then this stem. And there we go. Just about lost the other thin one in these 2. So that's everything die cut. So that's how I got these. I got those out of here. Like I said, I don't do the die cutting for those. I went ahead and did ahead of time just to save time in the video. But you will get the full strip to be able to do that yourself. Okay, that is all the die cutting. Bring in this. And I'm going to get my silicone mat again. I'm going to get all of these pieces out. Like so. Oh, hi, Holly. Glad you could make it. On the last card, but you can watch the replay later. You can see the other 2 cards. Okay. Now I'm going to grab this one. I'm trying to think what I want to do first. Need to look at my original. Okay, that's right. I put this on first. So I'm going to turn this over. I'm going to glue it just like I did before. Definitely get some on these little oval type things and then just kind of dab. And here in this center part that's a little wider. And then just make a couple little dots on the narrow part. So I'm barely squeezing. I'm more tapping than it's tapping the glue out. Now this one, I want to make sure, I'm going to grab my flowers. I know I want it to be, so the flower's about right here. So that will work. I just didn't want to make it be too high. Make sure you don't cover up that thanks to. So I'm going to push that down. And then I've got my straight one. Looking at my Okay, I think I actually did this a different way than what I did earlier, but this will still work. Here's the long one here. Turn this over. Yeah, I did this. I meant to put this one over. I doubt I can get that up now. Yeah, with glue, it is stuck for good. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make this one a little shorter. Or do I want to do it this way? Let me see here. You know what? We're going to try this. There we go. Now I'm going to grab, I think which one I want to put these on next. So I'm going to do this one. And I'm not going to worry about putting any on the stem. I'm just going to put them on the leaves here. And I'm going to angle this one. I'm going over the stems a little bit. I want this one over this way. Okay, push that, use the pressure to get that stuck on really good. That's the one thing with glue. It's not very forgiving, but I definitely couldn't use a seal on those little bitty stems because it would have gotten adhesive on the front. Now I'm going to put this one on, making sure I don't cover up my thanks. Oh, this may not work. Let's see, I'll make it work. There we go. That's a nice thing with glue too. I can kind of move that leaf and then push it down. There we go. You can see the stem just a little bit. I really didn't even need that stem. It's going to work out just fine though. Because this will go here. This little one will go down here. Oh yeah, this is going, you can't even tell a difference. So this definitely works. So, but I want to put this one on. Might as well do the glue again. Once again, I'm going to have that wide section go on the stem, and I'm going to bring it down here. Then I'm going to take the big one. Go ahead and put some glue on here. And I decided this long one here, I kind of want to hide it. So I'm going to bring it down here. I'm going to lay this up here. Let me make sure this is going to look fine. Oh, that's going to look fine. I'm going to bring this down actually a little bit. There we go. Push this down. Get that pressure on there. This one I'm going to put on with a dimensional because I want it to pop it up a little bit. And one should be plenty. Not a very big flower. And then this one will go right here. There we go. All right. Now, that is, oh, now it's just the bling. That's right. We got everything done. Already got the inside done. So I'm going to grab my bling. There we go. And this time we've used both the strawberry slush and the pretty in pink. Now we're going to use the clear. And I'm going to use 1 large and 2 small again. A lot of times I like to use just 1 large and 2 small, but sometimes I mix it up. This time I use the same size on all of them. I'm going to grab, and I like to keep them clear. I definitely could have used crushed curry or garden green Stampin' Blend to change the color, but I wanted to keep it clear. So I'm going to use a large one right here. I'll grab a small one. I'm going to put it up here, and another small one. I'm going to put it in a different place since I did my leaves a little different. Let's put it right there. So I'm going to bring in my original just so you can see the difference. It still looks good this way. This one, what I did, you actually want to put the double one over here and then put the single one here on the left. So still doing the same, do the stems first, then the leaves, then the flowers, but put the double one on the right. That just makes them so they can kind of spread out a little. I'm sorry. Should actually show it this way. That way you can see how it lines up. So that way they kind of spread out a little bit. The way I did it, I had to make them a little closer, but I still think it looks fine. Okay. Oh, thanks, Patty. She says, I knocked it out of the park tonight. Thank you so much. I love to hear that. So I'm going to get all the cards back out. And like I said, I can't believe how many cards I've made with this set. And I'm still, usually after I've made a few cards with the set, I'm ready to put it away for a while. But this one, I've gotten it out so many times. I can't get over all the different cards I've made with it. So it's definitely a good one to get. Oh, Robin says she thinks she likes this one the best. You like yellow a lot though too. Thank you so much. But yeah, I like the stamped flowers a lot. I like these. And on some cards, if you don't want them to just be this bright, you can take a blending brush and use the same color ink, like this is Fresh Freesia, and rub a little ink on it, and that gives a little more texture. I've done that with these before too. I should have brought one of those cards over, but there are a lot of different things you can do with this. Oh, thanks, Marvin, Jan. It does. I agree. Jan said it has so many options. The bundle does. It really, really does. And Patty had asked me this earlier. I answered it, but just in case those of you missed that question, the bundle is in the online exclusives in the online store. So you can't find it in the catalog, but you can find it in the online exclusives. So the whole suite is called Floral Impressions, but the bundle is Impressions Abloom, Abloom. So those are the cards. So we're done with tonight's class. Melissa says the second one's her favorite. You know what? I think that one is my favorite too. I liked how they all turned out, but I really liked this. I thought that was kind of cool. Okay. Thanks, Carmen and Jeanne. I'm glad you like it. And Lola, thank you so much. And Christy, she loves the sunflower. Yep. So I've got a few people that really like the yellow one. I do too. But yeah, I do agree. I forget who said they like this one, but I like this one too. Jeanne says you can't pick a favorite. I'd love to hear that. Oh, Mary Catherine says she has this bundle and now she knows what to do with it. Good. I'm glad I could help. Okay, so now I'm going to go over the door prizes again real quick, and then to give everybody a chance that hasn't done it yet to get their hashtag door prizes in, I will tell you about the thank you gifts. So the way I'm doing this, I'm going to have 2 door prizes tonight since I have 3 cards, because I give away the cards I make in my lives. So tonight, everybody that's watching live, you're going to get 2 chances. The first drawing will be for this card. Second one will be for this card. This one right here is the one for everybody that's watching live and everybody that watches the replay. So you have to live in the United States to be part of the drawing. And then if you do want to be part of the drawing and live in the United States, then make sure you do hashtag door prize. Type it in just like you see right there on the screen. Because here during the live, the program is the one that pulls all the comments that have hashtag door prize in them, and they have to be spelled just right. So the hashtag door prize, all one word, all small letters, no spaces whatsoever. And that's how you want to type it in. Now, if you're watching the replay and you want to be on the drawing to get this one, then just do hashtag door prize. It doesn't have to be typed in just right, because I'm the one that puts your name in my little spinning wheel, and that'll be announced next week. But right now, in a few minutes, I will be announcing the winners for these 2. So make sure you get their hashtag door prize in. But while you're doing that, because there's always a major delay, I'm going to tell you about my thank you gifts. I do new thank you gifts every 2 weeks. I was doing them monthly, but I went back to my 2-week routine, because I think it works out a little better for everybody. And that way you don't have to wait as long to get your thank you gifts. So the first one, if you place a $60 order, and that is after you redeem any Stampin' Awards. Let me explain Stampin' Awards real quick for those of you that don't know. If you have to have an online account on my Stampin' Up site, and then you have to opt in to get Stampin' Awards. So if you don't have an account, get one. Just go to that. You can click the link to my online store. If you're watching on YouTube, all my links are down in the video description. If you're watching on Facebook, because I'm going live on both, click the Learn More button you see at the top of the page, and then click on the online store link there. Open your account, or do the login or sign in, I think is what it says, and then make your account, and then make sure you opt in to the Stampin' Awards. That way you can start getting it. And for all orders that are just $20 or more, and that's before shipping and tax, you will start getting Stampin' Awards, 10%. So a $20 order will get you $2, and you use Stampin' Awards on future orders. So if you have Stampin' Awards already and you use some of those, the $60 has to be after you redeem your Stampin' Awards and before shipping and tax gets added on. So $60 will get you the card kits to make 2 each of the cards. And like I said, I do the embossing for you and any die cutting that is done with a die set that's not part of the bundle. So I did that with the textured notes dies. And then I also give you enough of the embellishments that I used. And they're always put in the first card kit, and those are enough to make all the cards. So for $60 order by, let me get this going here. By July, I'm glad it's not January. By July 28th, you will get the card kits. And then if you do a $120 order, let's see if here they are. I have a ton of cards I've accumulated again. So if you do a $120 order, you will get 8 of my cards, not specifically these, just 8 that are in my stash. These are ones I've done in past videos. So you'll get the card kits and this. And the way this works, my thank you gifts just started today. So you've got 2 full weeks. I will add any orders that you place in those 2 weeks to get to your 120s. If you want to get all of them, you don't have to do it all in one order. You have 2 weeks. So if you do a couple orders, I will add everything up to determine what gifts that you get. So $60 after rewards, before shipping and tax. You will get the card kits to make 2 each of tonight's cards. $120 total after rewards, before shipping and tax. You'll get 8 of my cards that you can use and give away or keep, whatever you want to do with them. So those are my thank you gifts this for the next 2 weeks, and they do end Monday, July 28th. Oh, thanks, Carmel. But Carmel, she likes the last one. Thank you. I think a lot of people like that one. I'm glad you guys are liking them. Okay, I saw some hashtag door prizes come on, but I think they've slowed down. So I'm going to go ahead and get ready for that. So that is how my thank you gifts work. If you want to get all of the information, in case you don't remember all of that, because sometimes it's easier to read it, click on the card class at home link I've got down the video description on YouTube, and you can find it under the Learn More button on my Facebook page. So this is for next week. So the replay people, you get a chance to get that next week, and my live people. Tonight, it's these 2. So I am going to go ahead and get rid of the door prize quick. I'll keep the thank you gifts ticker going. So let's see who's going to win this card. I need to grab my post-it. I forgot to grab my post-it notes. My big post-it notes are on my table. I have plenty. My friend Kathy supplied me with a bunch. Where's my pencil, though? There it is. It's laying flat. Okay, now I'm going to get the raffle up. I'd forgotten to get that ready, but it only takes a second. Okay, so I'm going to count to 3, and I'm going to start the little prize drawing. 1, 2, 3. Robin, congratulations. She won not too long ago, but that is okay. That happens. So Robin, you get this one. She hasn't won forever, and then now she's won 2. That's good. I do limit it to 2 per video, but she hasn't gotten one for a couple videos, I think. So you're going to get this one, Robin. So now I need to start with the second one. Let's hide that one. So you get this one, Robin. I'll mail that to you. And then for the second one, let's see who's going to win this one. Now, if Robin's name pops up on this one, she won't win this one. Okay, let's go. Congratulations, Janice. I do believe you said this is the first time you've been on here, so congratulations. So what you need, you're watching on YouTube. So what you want to do, you want to go down to the video description, and there's a contact me link there in the video description. Click on it, and that way you can that'll send an email to me. Give me your mailing address, and I'll get that mailed out to you, because I definitely don't have yours. Now, one thing, I got to get this off of here. One thing you can do too, let me get my tickers. I can never find, they need to label my little captions here better. There is also my email, so I'll keep that up for a little bit. But if you click that contact me link, that's actually easier down in the video description, and give me your mailing address, and I'll get those mailed out to you, or mail this out to you. Okay, that is it for tonight. Switch to me. Guess I should put that back up. So I hope you guys had fun. I have to look for my camera. And I want to thank all of you that came. I'm glad you guys liked the class. And I'm looking to see if I missed anything. Oh, good. I'm seeing a bunch of congratulations. Good. You guys are the best. So I will see you guys all again next Tuesday. Stay safe from any rain that's coming. I know there's some more storms coming around. And I was just reading a comment. Got me. Okay. Take care of yourself from any of the rain, the heat, so many different weather things going on right now. And I will see you guys all again next week. Bye. At 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, that is.